welcome to the Student Hub Live. This is the OU Business School and the OU Law School induction event. And I'm really, really pleased that you've been able to come and join us. There's been lots of chat going on the chat box. Hopefully we've got a lot of new students who've never been to a Student Hub Live event before, and I'll explain a little bit about how it all works. And hopefully there's some of you as well who've been to these events who can welcome other students. So what is this all about? Well, this is a special event for the Open University Business School and the Open University Law School to welcome their students, but of course anybody is welcome and anybody can participate. You can drop in and out throughout the day and the evening. We've got a really exciting programme of activities lined up for you that I'm going to tell you about very, very soon. Now, there are two ways that you can engage with this. You can watch and engage, which is where you click on the link, you put your student or your staff ID in and your password, and then you will see an interface where you can chat with other people, you can tell us what you think using the interactive widgets, and then we feed those back into the studio. Now, you should see some widgets appearing on your screen right now, and we'd like to know where you are, how you're feeling, what you're studying, and whether or not you've been to one of these events before. So please fill those in, and that gives us a really good snapshot of who's out there, because this event is all about you, our online audience, being live and interactive, asking your questions, being part of a community and getting to know each other. So I'm Karen Foley and I'll be hosting the range of activities throughout today, but I've also got two very important people who'll be listening to your thoughts and feeding those back into my panel of guests who we have lined up. So welcome Sophie and Kristen, how are you both?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very excited, yes, definitely.
Yes. And lots of chat going on already in the chat room. It's
now
amazing.
I hear you've not been talking about business but babies.
There does seem to be a lot of baby talk this morning. There's a couple of people. I know that there is Laura, who's trying to study at the moment with her 8-month-old asleep. So fingers crossed she stays asleep for as long as possible for you to try and get some of this done. It must be a struggle. I mean, I only studied with me to think about, yet alone 2 other little people to have to worry about. So congratulations and well done to everyone out there who's got children and studying. It must be very difficult.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And everybody's talking about how they're starting up on their courses already. I think, wow, that's incredible dedication.
Yeah, someone's already 6 weeks into their course, so they're doing really well. There's a lot
Whoa.
of I know.
They've already started drafting their TMA.
Yeah. So, it's lovely. Everyone seems to be really ready for this session. So hopefully we'll get lots of chat going on. If you've got any questions, please do let us know in the chat. It does go quite quickly. So let me just remind you, at the top right hand, there's your pin. So if you click on that, that should help you keep up with the chat a little bit more. If we do miss your question, because there is a lot going on, please do email us, studenthub@open.ac.uk. I'll pop that in the chat for you. And you can also tweet us, #StudentHubLive16 or @StudentHubLive.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Now, Sophie, you've been at the Student Hub for a long time and you're studying maths and you're a student and feeding that student voice in is brilliant. And Kristen, you work in the Open University Business School, so hopefully you can feed in information and advice. And so people can email questions that they've got to our inbox if we don't cover them in the chat. And hopefully you can direct them to all of your fabulous colleagues back at the office.
Of course.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, thank you both for being here. So Kristen and Sophie will feed in your chat. Let us know any questions you've got and we're going to feed those into the programme. So I'm going to ask you now if you can select some of the widgets that you've got, about which level you're studying, which subjects you're studying, how you're feeling about starting your new module, and we'll show those very, very soon. But let me tell you what we've got planned. Okay, so in a minute, we're going to show a video that I did with Rebecca Taylor the other day. She's the Executive Dean for the Faculty of Business and Law, and she's going to tell us about some of the exciting things that are happening in research and teaching, and ultimately what that means for students. Now, this is a really exciting area to be in because there are loads of new projects and initiatives we're going to be talking about today. So, after talking about careers in business and law with our Careers Advisory Service, we're going to talk about the law and how it's studied with Neil Graffin, and that's going to give a comprehensive overview about what it's like to study law. So this will obviously be relevant to anyone who is studying law, but I found it really interesting to get an oversight about how law is actually taught and some of the issues involved with that, and also how useful it can be if you don't necessarily want to practice in law. We're then picking up a different kind of thread with Danny Quinn, and we're going to talk about being an entrepreneur and innovation. So some of these relate to some of the business modules that you could study with the Open University, but I'm going to find out more from him about how that's worked with the project that he has been involved with. We then have a session about student support teams and, of course, an associate lecturer or tutor. And we're going to talk about some of the ways that students can reach out for support, what's around, what's the most appropriate way to do things, and we're going to be taking your questions. So if you're just being allocated a tutor or your tutorials are just being published, that's a really, really exciting time, and we're going to hopefully guide you through the way that you can work with your tutor to make the most out of them in your studies. But the student support team is also an invaluable place to seek support, and so we're going to tell you some of the things that you can do there. But it's a question and answer session, so please keep those questions coming in. As Sophie said, you can email us studenthub@open.ac.uk, or Twitter, we're keeping an eye on as well. The hashtag is StudentHubLive16. So let us know your questions, and I'm going to pose those to Ezra and Steve, who'll be joining me in that session. We're then going to move on and look at business, and B100 is the introductory module to business, and I'm really pleased that I'm going to be joined by Alessandro, Anya and Paul, who are going to give us a flavour of what that module is all about and talk to us a little bit about how they've produced some of the module material that you can be studying if you're taking that course. But it's a very, very interesting course as well, and so whilst this is obviously going to be essential for business students to look at, the law students might enjoy it too. We're then going to be looking at some top tips for studying accounting, which of course, as we all know, is relevant to all of us. And Jane Hughes is going to come and lead us through that short session, after which we're going to look at the Centre for Voluntary Sector Leadership with James Rees. But students and alumni are so important to this whole area, and we will see them being joined us in the studio throughout the day. But at 3 o'clock, we're going to be looking at the top tips. We have 7 top tips from the business and law alumni, so we'll be bringing those to you. But you will also have tips at home, so please share your advice about how you cope with studying with a small baby, how you're dealing with navigating the virtual learning environment, how you're making the most of your study space, and how excited you are about studying with the Open University. So please do share your advice and tips, and we will feed those into the discussion. We're then going to have a break from the live session, and we're going to show you some of the essential things that we covered in our boot camps. So this was very generic, and it's all about navigating the virtual learning environment and the things that students need to know if they're joining the Open University. Now, some of you may be joining us, maybe at level 2, and you haven't had experience of the Open University. And welcome, this is something we do, and community is really important to us, and so is meeting other students. So please do take a minute to look at some of those sessions. And also, if you are interested and you are just joining the Open University, do check out the bootcamp series, which is available on the Student Hub Live website and also our YouTube channel, and you can catch up on the sessions that apply to you most. They're all nicely sectioned into bite-sized chunks of 20 minutes, so you can enjoy those with your baby, with your cup of tea, and as having a nice break from your study also. So we hope that's good. Okay. Gosh, I've covered a lot of ground. I'm going to leave the evening session for a bit later, but we have a lot planned for that, including a moot from the Open University Law Society, talking about current affairs, and we're also going to talk about ethics in football, a really, really topical issue that I've been reading up about. Okay, Kristen and Sophie, how's it all going there?
Yes, it's lovely.
It's going really well.
We're having a bit of an age chat at the moment, seeing how old everyone is in the chat. There seems to be a nice little range of ages, actually. Yeah, from 21 down to about 68. So there's lots of different people here.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have everyone.
Brilliant. I'd love to see what we've got. Are the widgets ready, I wonder, that we can have a look at? So let's see. Firstly, we were going to look at which level people are studying. And also we wanted to know how you're feeling, which subject, how you feel about starting your next module, and if you've been to an event before. So first, let's look at how you're feeling right now. We've got lots of things coming up around this. Nervous, excited, not too tech savvy, can't type fast, daunting, ASAG, calm, anxious, positive, top notch. Brilliant. That's great, thank you. A whole range of emotions, and at 11:15, I think this is to be expected. If there are any technical issues that you're having difficulty with, Sophie is an expert at this. So do let her know any questions you've got. And if you would rather email us, then you can do that, studenthub@open.ac.uk, and we'll do all we can to help you get involved. If you are really struggling, there is a watch-only option though, and you can do that just to see the live stream. You won't be able to chat within that function, but you can always email your questions. So if that's going to be a better option, it might be something you choose to do. Actually, one thing Sophie didn't tell us about was the fact that you can change the interface layout. So if you want the text to be bigger or smaller, you can press on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, and that might help you also. But the whole point of this is to have fun and engage with us. And, you know, it is moving fast, and we can't always get to everything, and probably neither can you. So please do enjoy it, bear with us, and let us know if we can help you. Are there any other questions before we move on to look at Rebecca's welcoming video?
It doesn't look like many. We have had some technical problems, and there's a couple of people who have actually been asking about study tips. There's quite a few who haven't been studying for a little while. So I just redirected everyone to our catch up and our boot camps. We have 4 boot camps in the last month. There's lots of sessions on there, note taking, TMA prep, all sorts on there. So please do go and have a look at those if you are new to studying again. They might refresh your brain and things like that. I'll repost the link again. But it is on our catch-up, and I would just like to remind everyone that this session will also be on catch-up. So if you do have to pop out, you have to pop out for lunch, anything like that, we will be able to pop that up hopefully next week, so you can catch up then as well.
Lovely. Do you know what's really exciting is we've got a whole host of new people here, and 95% of you are studying business and law, which is great to hear, and also 71% of you haven't been to a Student Hub Live event before, so welcome, and we do hope you get the hang of it. The 29% who have are probably going to tell you how hooked they are on the whole experience and how we have a lovely time talking about tea, coffee, cake and biscuits throughout the day and generally getting to know each other. So if you've been to an event before, please do share your experience. Please do welcome other students who may be feeling a bit anxious, as I'm sure you were when you came to your first event also. Anything goes in the chat. Talk about whatever you want, raise questions, and if we don't pick up on those and you have something really important that we want to be able to answer for you, do email us, studenthub@open.ac.uk, but we hope you can make the most of it. Okay, so as I said before, I interviewed Rebecca Taylor, who is the Executive Dean, and this is a video that I want to show you because it gives you just a very, very brief snapshot of some of the exciting things that are going on within the faculty that you are now a part of. So let's watch that video, and then I'm going to come back and talk about careers in business and law, and we will see you live in about 15 minutes or so, but I hope you enjoy this video in the meantime.